We all know in DeFi it's very important to do your research and not just ape into any kind of figure, not even a digital figure like myself. So guys, we have been inspecting React, the Rebase Aggregator Capital, that token that I was very excited about, but it's always important to keep your head very level. And today we are digging deeper. This is not shilling a project. Guys, I'm just trying to allow you to join me and maybe to do some research together. What do you say? Well, the whole AMA between Obsidian, the KYC team in charge of KYCing, doing the Know Your Customer or verifying the identities of the React developer team. And so this AMA was between Obsidian and the React team. More precisely, Jim and Hendrix. So let's follow together. I cut out a few snippets that I thought were going to be interesting to know, so you didn't have to follow the whole thing. And it starts here.
I'm going to say, if someone didn't know what an ETF is, what is an ETF?
So basically, an ETF is like a collection of projects that through a treasury we do have we give those dividends back to our holders just by having those native tokens of those Rebase protocols in our treasury. So that's one of the ways we utilize React for our users and how we market them.
So the question here started, and obviously I must have cut that out. The question was, give a introduction of what React actually is, and since the developers and the team and the community like to call it an ETF, they were wondering why they were referring to React as being an ETF.
Perfect. Sweet. And sorry for interrupting you. Keep going.
Yeah, sure. So when we conceptualize this, what we have in mind is that, since Titano had risen from the DeFi space a few months ago as an automatic staking and automatic compounding protocol, the space has seen a lot of innovations, right? So we have Seifu, we have a Sphere. So there are others, that offers higher fixed APY, additional reflection rewards, through other tokens, or they give additional utilities to their native tokens as well. So what we have seen, like the problem that we want to solve through React is that, a lot of protocols rise and launch on, a daily basis, right? So it is hard for an individual to keep track of everything and manage each investment that they go through. So looking for after a new project requires, time and effort to do your research, to do your due diligence. So individuals as well, they tend to miss a lot of opportunities as more projects launch every day. So one of the bigger problems as well, aside from, missing a lot of projects on a daily basis and managing your assets because you have a lot in your plate, is that there are times that a user experiences overexposure on the project. This overexposure poses a high risk on an individual's investment or capital. So that's why most prefer the investment to be diversified on different protocols to minimize the risk on their investment. So as a protocol, as a project, React do it for you instead. So you don't have to go out there, research each single auto staking protocols that are coming out. So what we do as a service, as a protocol, is we do it for you instead.
We're going to say if someone didn't know what an ETF is.
So yeah, that's actually really nice. We already knew that, but as a confirmation, yeah, they are investing in other high yield, high APY projects, but maximizing and using them the way you can actually profit them. Of course, there are some caveats and other things to consider.
As far as your guys' background, and so you mentioned that you guys have conversations with these teams that you're investing in. What is your team's background? So do you guys have a financial background? So say me as an investor, why should I choose to trust your team's opinion versus my own, essentially?
So me as a live dev, I've been in the DeFi space for since the pandemic. So I am a full-time crypto trader myself. So I've been there when DeFi started to boom, right? Like early 2021 or late 2020.
So yeah, actually here Jin is not talking about the DeFi boom on Ethereum, but the actually DeFi boom right now that is happening on the new EVM compatible blockchains such as Avalanche and also Phantom. Remember Phantom? So that's what he was talking about. That's the DeFi boom that he was talking about.
I've been there when PancakeSwap has emerged and all these other DeFi protocols from the those protocols. So my experience as a trader, and I'm also myself is a decent trader. So I've seen it all. I've participated in all, and what I want to for others, for the users, for the community that we're having is to use those experience and those knowledge through React and to show the capability that I've been cultivating for the past year. So we do have myself, I do have my research team. So when I was finding all these protocols, all these projects since then, so I started with, when was there, those forks, those Titano forks that came up. I've been checking them daily when I was still conceptualizing React. So as a trader, I can confidently say that I do have the experience, I do have the knowledge to manage these assets for the whole community, for our user base. So yeah, that's basically it. So
yeah, and this is actually really important to understand and to take away from this. Okay, we are in this project depending on the capabilities of the team itself to maximize and use the best strategies with the given treasury. Now, of course, that demands a whole lot of trust. But
how is the aggregator different from a trust fund?
Yeah.
So what we do is what we do best is yield optimization technique. So we just doesn't let our investments go down or just die down. If there's a need to pull them out, we do, and we reinvest into other protocols. So being very hands-on on those investments makes us different from a trust fund. So we always make those investments for the good of our community, of our user base. So when we invest on protocols, we always check the sustainability mechanism they have, what other utilities they will bring in the future, so that the investment we are investing on them will net us a very substantial rewards that we can give to our users. This will create, a very good a very good marketing standpoint for React. So as we said, React, the process in here is that a React token represents, a share of profit, from the rebase rewards that the automatic staking and automatic compounding protocols offer. So if we do better with managing these investments, we are giving more value to our token.
Now, I want to touch on that part because I've seen something that is actually really crazy remarkable. Now, as you can see, the whole market is down, including AVAX. AVAX that is actually right now looking like it's testing some sort of support line, but it could just as easily break and tumble lower. Now, on the same side, we do have React that is right now trading at 1.49 cent. Is that it? That's a little bit over double whitelist pre-sale price. Now, me personally, I'm a degen, I'm an idiot, and I just kept dollar cost averaging, yes guys, DCA, on the way down, keeping myself at a comfortable just shy of $300 investment. But on the way down, I kept adding up to my position. Right now, I'm at 18,000 React tokens. Did pretty all right, but the thing that I want to talk about is the pending rewards. You would think as the price tumbles down and I keep DCAing in, then since my dollar amount stays the same, you would expect that my rewards would be coming in at the same rate. Well, absolutely not, guys. Even though the price went down and my dollar value didn't change to what I had when price was actually somewhere here at about 5-6 cents, then you would expect that the rewards would not have gone 3 times faster than they went before. So the system is actually working. Now, there are a few important questions that still need answering, because it's not because it seems to work that it will be sustainable. And this is what we are looking now, guys. We are looking for sustainable projects that we can actually invest and have a life. Because doing all that trading, it's very profitable, like I said, but it just drove me crazy to insanity. So that's all for now. And yeah, let's continue with the AMA. I want to know more. Next.
Initial APY on holding React.
So when we say the initial APY when holding React, it's there is no fixed APY. The math is variable, so it's very very different from what we experience with the Rebase protocols. They give this fixed APY, fixed daily ROI of a 1 to 2%. But when it comes to React, it depends on the reflection rewards depends on the volumes, right? So how much daily volume we generate from the buys and the sells. So this one is kind of hard to give a number, because it's, as I said, it's very
so it's not a fixed
variable.
APY.
Yeah, it's not a fixed APY. That's what we've been telling our users since the start. But we're coming up with, a calculator that can somehow give an estimate on how much you would earn from React holding React token. So you give the parameters, you give the numbers, we inject it to the calculator and gives you those probably daily ROI.
Yeah, I do like those calculators because we used to have them on all these Ohm forks where you could do these crazy projections like how much are you gonna end up with in 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, and it always ended up to like, $1,000 will make you a millionaire or something. And people like that. People like numbers, and when they see numbers, they're so easily convinced. Now, about React, the thing is, there is no fixed APY. It's all based on the numbers and the performance of the system. So making these promises of you are going to make so much in a year, that's impossible, and that would just be plain stupid. Now, I remember I was typing right there. My idea, my suggestion was just putting a number, an APY average of, let's say, the past 5 days or the past 30 days, so that people, when they look at it, they know more or less where it's coming from. Or maybe like multiple graphs. I don't know. There must be tons of ideas. If you have one, just drop it in the comment section down below, guys. You know how it works, right? You get fingers and you can type. Well, go ahead, go crazy. And in the meanwhile, we're going to go on.
And
So
another
with it being
thing,
based on, oh, sorry, no, finish
sure,
your
sure,
thought.
sure.
I was going to
So
say, with
another-
it being based on, oh my gosh, sorry. See, this is the downside of being in different rooms. My bad, Jay. With it being based on volume, does that just mean that when you have more people buying the React token, the APY is higher, and when more people are selling it, the APY is lower?
No, when we say it's about the daily generated volume, buy and sell both.
Okay.
The higher the buy and sell combined, the more rewards that the users can get. So if
Got it.
there is a
So it is both.
Yeah, and we know that we already went over this in the white paper, and it's also printed here, the reflections, buy tax and sell tax, always being paid out in AVAX, in native tokens of the Avalanche network. And also the rewards from the rebase protocol gains, and the gains that the Treasury made are paid every 3 days. We already knew this. So let's move along before this video becomes boring for you guys.
Yes, it's part of our React games. So that's the first one, the lottery system. So basically, the idea is, you lock your tokens and then you forfeit those rewards that entitled for those tokens. So what happens is that every 3 days, as the rebase dividends are going through to the pending rewards of our holders, instead they go to a smart contract, and then those rewards are then handed out to a winner decided on
Did he just say wiener? He did say wiener. Pay attention.
a specific time set. So that's like first, for now we have 3 days set. So the winner gets all those rebase dividends coming in. So that's basically the gist of it. For now, we haven't finalized all the details about it. So it will come after our rollout of the lock staking. Yes.
All right, so here they were talking about added functions that are going to come to React. Maybe if we can have a look. You can see that there are quite some things that are still not there yet. Locked staking is coming soon. Calculator will be coming soon. That's what we talked about. And also the lottery, that's what Jin was talking about just then and there. But let's move along. Next up.
Cool.
That's exactly
someone asked, has the team KYC'd or are they doxed or anything like that? I think Kyrian is how I pronounce the name of the person that asked that.
That's the one.
I think so. Regarding KYC or docs, we currently aren't looking to docs publicly, as we do want to protect primarily identities and the safety of people around us and our loved ones. But we are, of course, looking to KYC as far as audits go. They only really cover the safety of contracts and of the code. So we would like to be able to reassure our investors and potential holders as well. Sorry, hold on. All right. Potential holders as well, that we are stay and that we are safe as well. We're primarily actually looking to secure a KYC here through the Obsidian Council. I think we did reach out pre-launch, but that's something that I think Jin has been in the process of settling himself. So he has been the one personally KYCing, if you've been able to look into that personally. But we are additionally KYC'd with Nodak Labs, which is essentially a sort of collective of projects, so to speak, where the node aggregator capital team is housing various projects that they have personally vetted and teams that they have been working with closely. So that is ourselves included. You've received a lot of guidance, a lot of advice from them, and we have also KYC'd with them privately. So they do have our documents and essentially our whole real identities. We've spoken to them personally on video and everything. So we're looking to get a few more KYCs if possible, with some more reputable and more well-known groups and councils, companies that do KYC as well, just for the safety and for the reassurance of our investors.
Perfect. I actually didn't even. So if anyone, I think we talked about this a little bit on Monday, but I'm pretty
really
hands-off with KYC. We have a whole team. There's 3 people behind the scenes that handle KYC. Usually I don't know who is KYC'd until like the day before we post the announcement. So actually, I didn't realize you guys are, that you submitted an application to KYC with us. That's awesome.
Yes.
When I was asking that question, I wasn't trying to like pull up a quick shot. So
That's just awesome. Matthew, we forgive you for that. Hey, it's a question we were all asking. We all wanted to know, and we all wanted to know for sure. So there you have it, guys, from the horse's mouth down to you. Well, I think that's the way the expression goes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, we're talking about crypto, not grammar and all these. Now, hey, do you like this? This is confirmation that the team is KYC'd. So no rug pulls, no rug pulls, no rug pulls. That's awesome. Now, what are you guys waiting for? Maybe there's some more information that we need to hear.
Actually, someone else asked about it. I'm just seeing here. Masood asked, how is the treasury managed in terms of risk management and allocation?
Very important to know.
So you guys are using your treasury to invest in other projects. How exactly is that managed?
So the treasury management, basically, what we do is, the protocols that have a very good background and have a solid foundation, they get a bigger allocation when we're investing into them. So the more the more we classify this project, as a solid one or have a good team backing it, we give a bigger allocation when investing into them. So for other protocols, the upcoming ones, the newly launching, what we have in mind, as a research team that deals with the treasury investment is we do want to get into those, white list so that we get, at very, very bottom, absolute bottom price. And these projects, if we deemed that these projects, can do or can succeed in the future, we talk to them, we approach them, we ask for whitelist allocations for our treasury, for our development wallets, so that we do have a ample percentage of holdings. Then those investments are will yield as they launch. They give rebase rewards. So we do have our allocations. We have so these projects, the newly launching one, we set them as high risk because we do not know what will happen in the coming days, in the coming weeks as they launch. While those projects with a very good background, a solid foundation, have been in the space for quite some time now, we classify them as a low risk project when it comes to the general standpoint of rebase protocols. So.
All right, now I'm gonna interrupt Jim here. I know he's a developer. He's good at writing code, but English is not his native language, and you guys cannot judge him for that. But what it comes down to is that with the capital behind React, they do have opportunities to make contacts, connections, and they do have also the brains to know the difference between crap projects and things that could actually have a chance, because that's the make or break at a launch, at least at the very least for the launch. You want to see this as a good launch could do something like this, and then you enter at the whitelist pre-sale price. You can ride up quite some profit, get out your initial investment just like all the people with money do, and then you're off for the next races. And we can add and add, but this is not a game that you're able to play when you are just a regular person like myself. Well, I don't consider myself a regular person, but financially I'm a nobody, guys. So I need to use my brain, and I like to team up with people. So let's dig deeper. What else can we find?
Maybe, do you have a plan to adapt if the market decides that it doesn't love rebasing protocols anymore?
Yeah, very important.
So as we've outlined after our post-launch, so what we want to give to our users, and what are the factors of our success is giving out profitability and sustainability through the reward system. So another thing that we want to add, as we've seen this concern from our users, is adaptability. So being able to adapt to new trends is one of the key things that we see that will bring success to the project. So to make this in fruition, so what we have is our own native launchpad, so that this will give a very good boost to our brand as a crypto ETF. So we've said that we are focused on rebase protocols, but we're not limited to them. So there is still
awesome.
We can still adapt to new trends coming up. If there are projects who would want to launch through our launchpad, or there will be projects that we deemed that will give us a very good yields or sustainable rewards for our holders, we won't hesitate, to invest on them and have our bet that this will help our protocol as a whole.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome. So just basically more investing strategies, which is very good to know. I love the way that they are very transparent with the investments that they are going into. And also they have the habit of making votes between some of the optional decisions to take. But it's not like they leave the whole making of proposals and stuff up to the community. It's just, like a regular company does. You have the holders, the shareholders, and there are some ways to go. Well, you let the holders decide.
Do your very best. But yeah, we under promise, over deliver. Kind of stand by that motto. Let's see. Next question. Someone asked.
Oh, that's my question, guys. Here comes my question. And this is directly related to what I was saying earlier. Check it out.
I think this ties in probably to KYC and all of that. But CyberHash asked, how will they deal with SEC issues? Isn't React dangerously close to looking like a security?
When it comes to security, as a a security, we don't see it yet, as a thing of a like that. We have our treasury, which is focused on revolves around a DAO system. So we do not have the absolute dominance on it. We still seek from our community about how we interact with our treasury investment. So when it comes to security, I don't think we still count it as that one, because we know the participation is collective from our standpoint.
So I did not know that. I learned something new.
So operating as a DAO in your mind helps you tackle security. And that's probably also, someone else mentioned, it's likely why, when you mentioned earlier protecting identity, part of the reason why, and if you're newer in the space, part of the reason why so many projects are anonymous and then choose to KYC instead of doxing is just because there isn't really clear regulation on a lot of this yet. There is no yes or no. There hasn't been any rulings. And so am I doing something that makes me a criminal, even though there's no law that says so? We don't totally know all the time. And that's why people are trying to do their best to navigate the space correctly. But that's why so many teams are anonymous.
Yeah, and that's why you and I, guys, as investors, also need to do our research. I thought it was a really good question because I have no idea how all these regulations and securities and thingies go. I only know that XRP and Ripple made a lot of drama in court, so I wanted to know for sure. Hope you guys forgive me, and Jin, thank you for that answer. You really brought me some more knowledge. Thank you.
On why you believe the price is in a current downtrend and what your team is doing to flip the trend.
Oh, price.
So about the recent price action, so I think it's obviously tied from the over expectation of the people who were with us in our launch. They probably think that what React offers is a huge rewards, like how rebase protocols give their fixed APY, but we've been telling that React will give you a sustainable reward system, a dual passive reward system. So probably the over expectation comes, what comes after when expectations aren't met is disappointment, leading them to sell their tokens, being not seeing the long-term process that we want for the act, giving sustainable rewards, giving a passive income for our users. So basically, for my perspective, the recent price action just reflects that over expectation from the users who bought our tokens on our launch day. So as you can see, the chart goes for almost times 10 from our initial price launch, and plummets down and hovering on it's still above pre-sale price, more than times 2. But yeah, so that's my perspective on the recent price action. And
Yeah, sorry.
so what we've been doing, to flip those is, bringing utilities forward and rolling out our features intended for React. So that's first lock staking, our lottery system, and in the future, our own native launchpad.
Yes, I
Cool.
love that.
Yeah. I mean, so in your mind, the reason there is a downtrend is because people saw rebase in your name and they assumed that you were going to be a high APY skyrocket project. And then when they realized that's not what you're doing, you're investing in those projects, but you're trying to bring something sustainable to the market. And therefore you are not a high fixed APY that they essentially just sold on their whatever X they had and left the project. And now your goal is through the launchpad, through the locked staking and everything else you're building, the goal is to bring in people that understand exactly what you're building and want to be a part of.
And this is why I like to share my videos about and make my videos about React, because it's a very interesting project and their launch happens in phases that are very interesting to document and that also bring us some more understanding into how to do your own research, because that's what it's all about. Brains and research go hand in hand together. Now, let's move on.
Seriously appreciate it. If you're just jumping in, what we've been talking about is React Rebase Aggregator Capital. They have existed, currently live, post-launch, 10 days so far. And what they're doing is they're not just a high APY project. They're trying to create something sustainable in the space by investing in numerous high APY rebasing projects currently. They've invested in, I think you said 6. I was like trying to count them as you were answering that. I think 6 projects so far that you're using to invest in with the Treasury, and the holders of the React token get rewarded based on the wins of the Treasury investing into projects. And essentially it's a diversification token where you're buying one token that is diversified into numerous projects and protocols. And so no, someone asked, are they a high APY project? No, they are not intending on being a high APY project. They are investing in high APY projects. I think someone said they did the math right now, like today, the APY is somewhere around 90%. So it is not like 100,000% APY. And then, yes,
about the APY, guys, like I told you earlier, I'm not even sure that it's based on a percentage of your dollar value of React tokens. It's really based on the amount of React tokens that you're holding. So, again, considering the price and considering how young they still are, this team is motivated. And, if you ask me, I would say this is an okay price to get in. Of course, I'm not telling you that you should step in and buy whatever I'm telling you to buy. No, I'm telling you to do your research, decide for yourself. You want to take a shot, you think it's worth, and you think that this thing could go up to the moon, then yeah, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? But again, this is up to you, and you need to do your own research as always. Now, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up because it already took way too long. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. In one of my last videos, I got this nasty comment about, hey, am I 12? Why do I choose to be an animated character? Well, you know what, dude? Screw you. No, I'm not 12. I'm just trying to be anonymous so that people remember. Stay emotionally as detached as possible. It's not about how much you like the person that is presenting this stuff, but about how objective you're able to be. Now, on that note, I hope to see you guys on the next video. I'm pretty sure, just like crypto always lives and innovates, that we are just soon gonna have some new project to invest on, or maybe some more evolution in the world of React. Who knows? Well, anyway, I know for sure I will see you guys on the next one. This is me signing out. Peace, guys. Thank you very much.